Identity politics will make you look like an idiot. Every fucking time. This has been made painfully evident as more and more people begin to publicly subscribe to ideologies they don't fully understand and begin to wave those banners only to find themselves with egg on their face when the folks with whom they felt they were aligned start contradicting themselves, forcing their constituencies to either disavow or double down. And I'm starting to worry that we may never become self-aware enough as a society to stop it. Stop building up politicians, pundits, pop culture figures into great infallible god kings, and stop pretending that they're right when they're obviously not, solely because you've attached yourself to the same narrative that they have. It's the political equivalent of farting and blaming the person next to you when you're the only other person in the room. Just because an individual's personal brand becomes synonymous with your side does not mean that you are obligated to excuse them from fault or defend them at every turn. We need to get away from playing politics like a team sport because it's not. In fact, it's that type of groupthink mindset that has allowed for this petri dish of intellectual dishonesty to metastasize to this point. Donald Trump, for example, while he may lay claim to the Republican conservative name, is certainly not the guiding standard for republicanism or conservatism. So when he does something that isn't conservative, you shouldn't pretend that it is or that it was conservative in an effort to contort your moral standards to align with his. That's called being a cuck. Likewise, if someone like Barack Obama does something good, you shouldn't look for any reason to condemn it solely because your political narrative doesn't sync up with Barack Obama doing good things. That is also called being a cuck. The same applies to pop culture figures. Tommy Lahren is no more representative of the right than Colin Kaepernick is of the left. So you're not obligated to defend them as if they were either. Baker, however, is representative of most people who don't think before they make words with their face holes, and is therefore representative of both Colin Kaepernick and Tommy Lahren. Anyway, just because these individuals associate with certain estuaries of thought, just because mainstream culture would conflate their beliefs and principles with your own, does not mean that you need to take ownership of their beliefs in order to defend your own legitimacy. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lowering your moral standards to save your reputation as one thing or another, unless you have actually already made the conscious decision to identify as a massive idiot. Playing identity politics will almost certainly make you look like Baker on a daily basis. Either way, you're in the right place. Welcome to Idiolitics. This is Politics for Idiots. It's good to be back. Holy shit. It's good to see you guys, man. I've been on a radical sabbatical for a solid 2 weeks in California.
Fuck
and I missed you.
Go back. I'm not happy anymore.
Is that how long you been on the ground here?
Man, I literally got off the plane about, an hour before we started this thing?
Yeah.
And we were trying to coordinate this whole thing from an airplane that was parked in Little Rock Airport live. So anyway.
No, I'm serious. I wish you would leave again.
Well, with me in the studio today, as always, is my co-host, Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hey.
Good to see you, man. With me again, he puts the idiot in Idiolitics. It's Baker.
Hi, everybody.
And then here he's only a conservative because liberalism is too mainstream. It's Drew the hipster. Say hi, Drew. So, guys, we have a hell of a show for you today. Let's go to the outline. Let's see what we got cooking. All right, so what day was the OSU attack? I think that was like Monday or so, right? Was it Monday morning? We could be wrong, don't quote us on that. We are idiots after all. So on Monday morning, a Somalian refugee by the name of Razak Rashad Alama Flemmenbacher, I don't know the entire name. I'll pull it up right here so I don't appear incredibly racist.
Hey, can you give me a little bit of a range?
You got it?
I know I'm kind of pushing your limits, but yeah, that's perfect.
It's Razak something. It's
okay. Abdul Razak Ali Artan.
Okay,
so pretty good.
No, say that 10 times fast.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Good job, Baker.
Ninth grade
words are hard.
Public schools.
Okay, so here's what ends up happening: is homeboy plowed into a campus crowd with his car. Then he plowed into a center divide within like 5 seconds of that happening. Did not kill anyone with the car. Left the car. Started slicing people with a butcher knife. Way to go, dude! And within like 2 seconds of this actually happening, this was like. Dude gets in car. Dude drives into crowd. Dude manages to plow that into some people and then a barricade. Gets out of the car and then police officer finds him, shoots him dead. Done. This all happened like a course of 5 to 10 minutes or whatever.
And what was his weapon?
A car and a butcher knife.
I think we need more gun control.
I mean, obviously it's the answer.
I think we need more gun control.
Right. Now, so what ends up happening is because in that course of 5 minutes, the all that had gone down. There's gunshots. No, everyone's in disarray. No one knows exactly what's going on. So this police officer had fired shots, killed the victim heroically. Great job to, I don't know the name of the cop, but great job to that guy. That's a true American hero right there.
Nameless.
Doing his job, man. Anyway, so the thing is called an active shooter, which is justifiable on part of the school because they don't know gunshots in the fog of everything, you know. But the mainstream media runs with it. It's immediately, this is gun control, gun control, gun control, everyone. We got the picture of Tim Kaine's tweet?
Yeah, no.
This is
Politicians
Clinton's
as well.
Is that up? Cool, we're going to throw up this tweet for you right now. So vice presidential candidate Tim Kaine, like within several, I don't know, maybe an hour of this whole thing happening, tweets this. We got it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, it's up right now. Can you read that for us, Drew?
Deeply saddened by the senseless act of gun violence at Ohio State this morning, praying for the injured and the entire Buckeye community.
So my question is, was it an assault butcher knife? Was it a high-capacity butcher knife?
It was an AR butcher knife.
Was it
Yeah,
was it black and
it was
scary
tactical,
with the scope
dude.
on it?
It was a tactical butcher knife.
Tactical.
That's why this happened. Okay. So
And they went back to his car and they found a knife sharpener.
Ooh. You mean he had extra ammo? Is that what that is equivalent to?
Yeah. They found
Why we do
30
background checks on
knife
ammunition.
sharpeners.
Oh, yeah. He
so,
must...
okay, so the mainstream media lose their minds because they right to the narrative of gun control. My fucking tongue tied. I'm still drunk. Anyway, so this ends up becoming a flop. Like, clearly it was not an act of gun violence. Clearly, and so then it takes a solid 4 days for the mainstream media to identify this as an act of radical Islamic terrorism. That's what it's called, right? I think that's the word they've been looking for.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if you'll find anyone on mainstream media saying that.
Speaking of media, like I have a direct quote from the guy, and he
You wanna read it off?
I do. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So a few days before,
This is several months. This is
several months before the attack. This is what he posted on social media.
No, he didn't post this on social media, Baker. You silly Baker.
Hey, can you continue to ask permission to speak in the future?
I like
I kind of like that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Please continue
Permission to
that.
submit
I
rebuttal.
actually would prefer though if you raised your hand.
Yes, it'd be much preferred.
Okay,
And then you
here's
have to
what
wait for someone in the audience.
Here's
to
a
select
quote.
you.
Here's a quote from the guy.
Okay.
From an article on the OSU publication. It's called Humans of OSU.
That's what I said.
Yeah, so it's like the local school
It's
publication.
the local school paper. This is what he said.
Got it.
It was like a whole column in his picture. I wanted to pray in the open,
You
but
got
I
a
was.
picture of homeboy?
I wanted to pray in the open, but I was scared with everything going on in the media. I'm a Muslim. It's not what the media portrays me to be. If people look at me, a Muslim praying, I don't know what they're going to think. What's going to happen? But I don't blame them. It's the media that put that picture in their heads, so they're just going to have it, and it's going to make them feel uncomfortable.
Use your words.
No, I read it word for word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it turns out he wasn't that great at speaking English. I'm sorry, I look like a dick.
No, okay, so this makes me...
When do you not look like a dick?
This was posted... Roasted. This was published well before the actual attack. And in this, he's blaming the media for portraying Muslims to be something that they're not.
Mind you, this is the media who took 4 days to even begin to start thinking about the fact that it might actually have some sort of link to radical Islamic terrorism.
Yeah,
so we got another quote from the dude, right? You want to read that one off, Mike? You want me to pull that up for you?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So actually, let's see here. I'm just going to throw it on my phone and throw it over to you. Where did my phone go?
It's over there playing.
Okay. I'm going to pull this up. Actually, here, I'm just going to read it. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Mike. You can read something
I forgive
else
you.
later. Okay, so basically, if you were looking for any sort of proof as to whether or not this was actually an act of radical Islamic terrorism, I would direct you to his, I don't know, Facebook page. This is I'll only read part of this because it's really long. This is the last post that this dude made on his social media account.
No, this was social media?
Yeah, this was social media.
Okay.
Yes,
I should have raised my hand.
Yes. We're going to start doing Baker timeouts. I think we're going to start with a
Take the microphone away. Mute me.
Anyway, so this is what the attacker at OSU said right before he committed the act of terrorism, because it was terrorism. In the name of Allah, we're off to a great start.
Yes, we are.
The merciful and most gracious. My brothers and sisters, I am sick and tired of seeing my fellow Muslim brothers and sisters being killed and tortured everywhere in all capitals. Seeing my fellow Muslims being tortured, raped, and killed in Burma led to a boiling point, and I can't take it anymore. America, stop interfering with other countries, especially Muslim Ummah. We are not weak, we are weak. I'm not very good at syntax, apparently. And this is actually what is in the quote I'm directly quoting. Is remember that. If you want us Muslims to stop carrying out lone wolf attacks, I don't know how we could possibly think this might have been a lone wolf attack. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Shut up and read it, please.
Quit jumping to conclusions.
God.
Make peace with them. Either make peace with them, the Dawala al-Assam. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Make a pact or treaty with them where you promise to leave them alone, you and your fellow apostate allies, who are, I'm assuming he's referring probably to, I don't know, the Jews and other allies or enemies of Islam.
Objection, speculation.
Raise your damn hand, Baker. By Allah, we will not let you sleep and we will not give you peace to them unless you give peace to the Muslims. You will not celebrate or enjoy another holiday. Blah, blah, blah. Radical Islam, blah, blah, blah. La, 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 la. Al-Sharia Bob, I don't know.
Yep,
so,
got it.
So that was a thing. So this could not possibly have been a act of radical Islamic terrorism. There is just no way.
And it's weird that he blames the media that has been handling Islam with baby hands for years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Same, again,
they've been handling them like they were the greatest thing, the religion of peace. Apparently, you know,
right.
Like
they
hang out in an
Whoppers.
Islamic country.
Whopper hands.
Yeah, let's see how much
And
peace there is.
Before people start getting on the PC bandwagon, like we understand that there's a fundamental difference between what is modern, like westernized Islam, the majority of Islam.
I don't think we should use the big brush to paint the whole group.
Exactly, but radical Islam is obviously a Sharia law, obviously a dangerous religious and political entity that doesn't that directly conflicts with our own constitutional principles and just moral principles as Americans. So that's where Idiolitics draws the line. We know that all Muslims are not bad, so before you go and say that we say that we don't. Okay?
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
But
No.
the way go ahead, you had a point to make?
Well, I was just going to point out.
I smell racism.
Go ahead, Baker.
Thank you. I would just like to point out from an idiot standpoint, when he says, I'm a Muslim, I'm not what the media portrays me to be, he's obviously thinking that the media is out to portray him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then you go be a bad guy.
Well, no,
If you don't want the media to think that if you don't want people to think that you're a bad guy, don't go be a bad guy. How? God.
That's quality advice.
He's
Quality advice.
good job. Good job, Baker. Good job.
I am not a bank robber.
If you don't want to be a
what are you doing
terrorist,
after this?
don't be a
You
terrorist.
want to rob a bank with me?
We're gonna have the fucking FBI.
All right, so check it out. If you're gonna look at how do you analyze a situation like this, either what he said in the what's the name of the news article?
publication.
Yeah, the school
newspaper.
publication. So either what he said there was a knowledgeable lie, right? Either he knew and he's been radical and he was planning on this in the long run, or he was radicalized from that point till the date of his
This is in
attack.
the span of like 6 months. This dude.
I believe so, like 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So either this was truly a typical person of Muslim faith who was legitimately like scared, and then something set him off within 6 months that flipped that scale and radicalized him.
Yeah.
Or he was already radicalized from the beginning.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So either he was bad or something turned him bad.
Right, exactly.
Both
The other
are
thing,
subject
too,
to
though,
alarm,
that I think is kind of ironically funny is that he does say, I'm a Muslim, and it's not what the media portrays me to be. That is correct, because the media would never portray you as a radical Islamic terrorist.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, there was a good part to this. I know that sounds morbid to say, but shout out to the OSU ROTC chapter out there who outstandingly, and it's been made a fact by the people who witnessed it, these guys showed zero fear in the face of what they didn't even understand was going on. They blocked the doors. They told everyone what to do, get in the corners, stay out of sight. They kept everyone safe and then put themselves in potentially harm's way by blocking the doors, regardless of whether or not they knew what was going on. They didn't know that he had a knife. That guy could have been armed to the teeth, and they still put themselves at the doors.
Yeah, so obviously...
huge shout out to those guys, because if this thing had been worse, those would have been the guys to make a difference.
Yeah, it takes
and
balls
thankfully it didn't come to that, but there is a good thing to come out of this.
Hell yeah. Okay,
Bravery.
so I think we've kind of beat this horse enough, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on to the Jill Stein recount deal, huh?
Yeah,
just couldn't
recount.
just
Okay,
couldn't
anyone wanna
lose
field this, or do
gracefully.
you want me to kind of give an overview?
Yeah, let's give us an overview and then we'll
Okay.
talk about it a little bit.
All right, so Jill Stein starts an initiative to vote in. This started like mid last week. Has kind of
Yeah.
carried on.
Yeah, been a
this
little
week
while.
A little bit. Has started an initiative to do a voting recount in the states of Wisconsin.
Yeah, so what are the grounds on needing a recount? What is
There's a whole lot. You need to either like pass it through like.
No, I mean like what is Jill Stein's like? This is why we need to recount.
Oh, why would you? Okay.
Yeah,
So
what is her
basically?
reasoning?
So she wants to do it in Wisconsin. She wanted to do it in Wisconsin, Michigan, and PA. There's the three blue states that went red. Is the Rust Belt, right?
Yeah.
And so her big cite for this whole thing was that the voting machines in Wisconsin were banned in California due to vulnerability to hacking and malware. The same to go with PA. What's up?
Now she won. Oh, that's a shtick.
That works really well.
That's
It works really good.
That's a shtick I'm not proud to be a part of. Oh yeah. She demanded a recount in Michigan.
Right, because why, Baker? Because voting machines were banned in California and were subject to hacking or
Yeah.
potential malware.
Is there any evidence? Do we have any evidence that would lead us to believe that the voting machines in Michigan were hacked?
Well, what voting machines?
That's
Because
true, ladies
Oh,
and
they
gentlemen.
didn't
this is
use
only
any
paper ballots.
Paper ballots.
Oh goodness.
But do we have the pictures up for? We got those on file for the margins that he won by in those
Yep.
states. Let's throw up Michigan first. So Michigan, Donald Trump. We're gonna have a visual for you guys here in a second. Donald Trump won with a margin of 11,612 votes. Again, only paper ballots there. Let's throw up PA. Okay, PA is going to be 68,236 votes. That's a pretty big margin. Like that's
is,
like
yeah.
that almost. I understand that
Surprising,
PA is a
to be
big state,
honest,
but like
but-
that is large. It's almost 100,000.
Yeah.
You know, that's leaning toward that. That's really kind of unprecedented to try and get a recount for that. And then Trump won Wisconsin with 27,257 votes
Now, when the recount was finished
in Wisconsin.
in Wisconsin, it turns out that Hillary had been shafted.
Really? Yeah, you know what? You're right.
She
did.
got more votes than she thought she did
more votes than
This
she
is
thought
true.
she did.
Yep.
by one vote.
She gained a single vote.
A single
I love
vote.
that.
Big winner.
I'm happier that she went
It's
up one
because the
versus
paper
Trump going up
stuck
one.
together.
You know what I mean? It's just so much funnier that
Yeah, right.
that it was wrong, you know, by one
By
vote.
one vote.
And so now she gets her vote
And she
back.
probably took it
Wonderful.
gracefully. She's like, yes, I knew it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is all gone down. The Clinton campaign has already been involved. Mark Elias is a Clinton general counsel. He's a big lawyer for her. Says himself there was no actionable evidence for hacking, and that's why their campaign didn't start the recount in the first place. Even Bernie Sanders has admitted that he doesn't think that any investigation will produce significant results, but he supports it anyway, which
Yeah.
is really funny because that's how Bernie Sanders kind of thinks about all his policies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So is the recount finished up?
We're still working on it. I think the PA still has to finish theirs.
Yeah. So
but-
and it's funny too because Hillary attacked Trump coming into this, you know, assuming she was gonna win, saying if anyone were to like not accept the results is like, well, I don't have the quote, but pretty much like an assault on democracy.
our democracy and our election system. Like,
Yeah,
how can-
and now
Obama
she's
was
like, but now that she's lost, she's like, no, I'm totally good with it.
yeah, right. And Obama himself even goes to suggest that you could even
Yeah.
rig America's elections.
Yeah,
It's absurd. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yep.
it's like, oh, now
yeah, unless you
got it.
lose. Yeah,
Mhm.
unless you lose.
Okay, you got it.
All right, so who really cares about all this? Really, it's just the way I see it is this is Jill Stein
Right.
filling her
Well,
pockets.
Here's the really hilarious thing about this whole thing. It had nothing to do with Stein, Sanders, Elias, none of them. The best thing that came out of this thing is actually going to help us transition into our new segment on this show, Trump tweets.
Ooh, Trump.
yes.
Can I have this one?
Sure can, but the one I need you to read first. Can we bring up the tweet that has to do with this whole recount thing? Because this is what gave us the idea to start following Trump's Twitter. So now every week we're going to be looking at Trump's Twitter and we're going to pick our favorites and we're just going to start picking them apart because they are hilarious. This is the best part about having a Twitter-addicted orange man baby for a president is that he's a Twitter-addicted orange man baby.
Oh man, particularly at 4 in the morning, right?
Yeah,
Prime
right?
tweeting
He's just
time.
like on the shitter. Just like,
Prime tweeting time.
yeah, anyway, so Baker,
I actually don't have that tweet.
you don't have that tweet? Okay,
Son
Drew,
of
you
a
want to go
gun.
ahead and read the tweet?
In addition to winning the Electoral College in a landslide, I won the popular vote if you deduct the millions of people who voted illegally.
Why? Why, Donald? What are you doing?
God damn it.
Why are you questioning the legitimacy of
Seriously.
election that
Oh
you won?
goodness, it blows my mind. Oh goodness. So you guys know I'm like always into baseball, right? That's a big thing. And
So
if
if
you
the
ever,
Dodgers had won the World Series,
well, not just
would you be like,
bring it smaller. So you
Bigger, reach
always
your
see.
goddamn hand.
So you always see like plays at first, right?
Yeah.
And you like watch it and you're like, ah, shit, my guy's out by like half a step. You know what I mean? Like, or all the way around, barely makes it. And why would you ever call? We better review that. Hey,
Yeah, right?
he called him safe. Sweet. We better review that.
Yeah, right.
And I think he could have been safer. Like, what is the ultimate goal here? I just don't understand it. He's such an idiot.
but I do have Trump tweets.
Okay, so we're going to turn the Trump tweet segment over to Baker now. He's going to do like a lightning round of some of his favorite Trump tweets and read them to you in the way that only Baker can. Hey, wait, Baker, you don't have to raise your hand for this one.
Sweet. Okay. Look forward to going to Indiana tomorrow in order to be with the great workers of Carrier. They will sell many air conditioners.
It's phonetically the way that this guy writes these
They
things.
will
It's like-
cool very much.
He's like off the shitter at 3 in the morning, just like, that's a good thing to say as the president.
Dude, I've been watching Vikings and stuff, and they say things like that, like, we will feast much, like, many air conditioners.
Except this isn't a Viking, this is our president.
Alright, that's really the only funny one. Except for
I trusted you.
Fidel Castro is dead.
So what?
4 words.
So behind the
Take
scenes,
4 words. Fidel Castro is dead.
behind the scenes, they're like, "Oh my goodness, Fidel Castro has just died." Donald, we need to report on this. You should come up with a statement. Donald's like, "Say no more. Fidel Castro is dead." I got it.
Mind you, Donald Trump, if you look at some of the statements from like Justin Trudeau, who's the Prime Minister of Canada,
Oh, yes.
Barack Obama,
Stark
other world leaders were, like,
contrast.
praising Castro and just
Oh,
like
no.
pouring out their emotions, especially what's his
Oh,
name?
Trudeau was so
just, like,
bad.
Trump's in the corner. Castro's dead.
Yeah,
I respect it. I respect
The funniest
that.
thing is, okay, so all these other leaders are like singing the praise of Castro, which you probably shouldn't do considering he was a bloodthirsty dictator who
Yeah.
overthrew another bloodthirsty dictator and made it worse.
All that
But,
murder.
But yeah, so lots of murder. But god damn you and your fucking lung butter.
I chase clouds, bro. Oh yeah, I got another one.
Well, I wasn't done.
Raise
funniest
your hand.
Put your hand
That's
up.
not. I am the. Anyway,
Yeah,
so let me
you
finish.
just lost that argument.
Let me finish. So later, Trump comes out with the only good statement about Castro's death, like criticizing the fuck out of his whole regime and just
Yeah,
like, condemning-
yeah, which is great.
The only world leader who actually has something useful to say about Castro is actually Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
It's
go ahead,
sad that that's what our nation's.
If
come
Cuba
to.
is unwilling to make a better deal for the Cuban people, the Cuban American people, and the U.S. as a whole, I will terminate the deal.
Woo! It's
You're
not that
fired.
funny, but I dig it.
Okay, well, that's actually good shit.
That's a different topic, but yeah.
Okay,
I
so let's
dig
move
that.
on. Okay,
Yeah.
I think is Trump tweets done with? All
I got one more. I got
All
one
right,
more.
fine. Let's see it.
Nobody should be allowed to burn the American flag. If they do, there must be consequences. Perhaps loss of citizenship or a year in jail.
Oh goodness, are we leading into?
That was a
Flag
perfect
burning?
lead-in. I loved
Okay,
that.
let's talk about some
Okay,
flag burning.
so real quick, I just want to because it relates to the Trump tweets. Ben Shapiro's analysis of this, because everybody likes to talk about like 6-dimension chess, you know what I mean, and what is Trump doing? How smart? Yeah, but really, he's probably just an idiot.
Yeah.
And so Shapiro brings up the point that during the same time that Trump was dropping this, like Fox News was playing this some like bit about flag burning. And so Donald Trump's sitting there watching Fox News, and he's like, "Flag burning's bad."
Yeah.
And then he just tweets about it.
Yeah, there was
like,
an incident at some university. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Trump's, like,
Many
watching
flags
on
will
the
not be
news.
burned.
Yeah, so that's it. Because something else happened at the same time, and people were like, "Oh, he was trying to deflect the media by saying something outrageous," which Trump does all the time, deflecting the media against. I can't remember what the other topic was.
My grandfather used to do the same thing with Facebook. He'd
Uh-huh.
be like sitting there on his recliner in the living room watching Fox News,
Yeah.
and just be like,
I have something to say about
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
Donald Trump does. He's crazy.
Unfortunately, in my personal views,
Are we gonna talk about okay, flag burning?
Are we doing
yeah,
flag
I
burning?
thought we were talking about flag
Yeah,
burning.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Unfortunately,
let's hear
in my
what you
personal
got.
views, flag burning is protected by the Constitution under free speech. Texas versus Johnson. The state of Texas.
This is your
versus
opinion,
Johnson.
or this is?
This is
It's my
versus
opinion
Johnson?
that
It's,
it
okay,
should
but
not
first
be
it was the
protected.
Supreme Court of the United States opinion. This is not a Baker original, folks.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
sorry.
so the thing with Supreme Court decisions is you don't have to agree with them, and this is one. So Texas versus Johnson. I think it's been to the Supreme Court like twice now, and so they say that it's protected under free speech.
Right.
However, most states do have provisions preventing against the burning of the United States flag, as well as their own state flags.
Right. And so this is sort of like where I fall on this whole thing is that it's sort of outright fascisty and really kind of shitty as a human to try and burn the human flag. Or not the human
I didn't know that was a thing.
reading the right- I'm sorry.
Is that part of your one world government?
Yeah.
The human legion.
Anyway, so it's really kind of fascisty and deplorable to burn the American flag. In my personal opinion, there's a million reasons that I would never, and a million reasons that I want to punch you in the face if you ever did it in front of me.
Yeah.
But the thing is to remove someone's citizenship, to jail someone for a year for something they really may have done. Like someone may have legitimately held the view that it represents oppression, which I disagree with. But I just don't think that it should that spirit of punishment should be levied for something which really fundamentally is a demonstration of free speech. Now. My thing with that is that it's also not cool to do it. So that's why states have legislatures that have already banned this in certain ways now, but they don't make them outright felonies. What they do is they're like criminal misdemeanors. So you like go to jail or like you get arrested or like handcuffed, which I'm cool with because if I see you doing that, I kind of hope you do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be illegal. I'm kind of, I'm honestly, I'm unsure about it. I'd have to think about it more. I think it should be illegal. I mean, a lot of things. Yeah, where do you want to draw the line at where free speech is protected? Because some people like to go inside of the mall and take poops in the food court.
Yeah.
Is that protected under free speech?
It is not. It
is
is not.
So where do you draw the line? And usually, for like most things, I say you should err on the side of freedom. And and I feel like that would say the flag burning is okay. But man, it just pisses me off so much.
Of course it does. Yeah,
it pisses me off really bad.
So now, to end this up, I want to open it up to you guys in the comments. I want to know I want two things from you guys. What would be an appropriate punishment, if any, for burning
What's an
the flag?
appropriate punishment for Baker not raising his fucking hand?
I'm going to
have to come up with one of those.
Disregard.
30 seconds, time out.
What would be an appropriate punishment, if any, for burning the flag? And two, what would the human flag look like? Feel free to design one and post it in the comments, and we might,
Yeah. So I thought about that question too, and honestly, I don't know.
Human flag?
No, not the human flag. Punishment. I don't know. Somebody else come up with it. I don't want
Okay.
to. Real quick too. Back in like 2006, Hillary also pushed for punishment for burning the flag, and I
True.
believe it was like a year, and then or 100,000 fine. Yeah. So.
So the
So
fascist
the wonderful.
was pushing for fascism?
Yeah, but yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Speaking of back to the Trump tweets into something else, the carrier thing.
Okay,
What
let's
is up with the?
Okay, so here's what happened because Baker's dumb and doesn't know about this. So Trump, if you guys have been watching the news at all lately, has made a deal with Carrier Air Conditioning. Again, this is still president-elect, not even president yet. So he goes in, he makes some internal dealings with what's up?
Sorry. We found the quote for Hillary Flag Protection Act of 2005.
Okay, back
Yeah.
to Hillary flag.
Yeah, you can go right back to Carrier. I just wanted to throw this out there. It says 1 year in jail and a $100,000 fine for any protester burning the flag. Sponsored by Senator Clinton.
Yeah, we gotta look up. We gotta move on. But like, what we should really do is look and see if she's made any statement about this, about the flag burning. I would really love
Not
to
that I'm
catch her
aware
in
of.
another backpedaling.
Yeah, right.
I would love to see that.
Well, I mean,
Anyways,
you
let's
can,
move
how
on
many
to
of those
Carrier.
can you stack when they start
Yeah.
mattering?
Yeah, right.
Whatever. All right.
So let's get back on to Carrier. So basically, what Trump does, he made an insider deal with Carrier, who were initially planning on moving about 1,100 jobs. Supposedly, the figure is like being stretched all around with the mainstream media. It's like anywhere from 800 to 1,100. So for full disclosure purposes, I'll give you that. Save these jobs by levying some tax incentives in Indiana, which, mind you, his VP Mike Pence is still the governor of Indiana as it sits until he takes the office of vice president. $7.7 million in tax breaks to stay in the U.S. What else we got on that, Mike? I think he also levied some threats.
Yeah. So the parent company of
Baker Co.
what's the name of the air conditioning place? What are they called again?
Carrier?
Yeah, Carrier. So Carrier's parent company or organization or whatever has like some military contracts, and so not only can he levy
Big military contracts.
yeah,
too.
so he can not only
He can give
support-
tax incentives, and
yeah,
he can also say
threaten on the other end.
Right. He can also say on one hand he's saying if you stay in the U.S. you'll have tax incentive to do it, but if you fucking leave the U.S. you're gonna lose a lot of money from your contract deals. And
Exactly.
these contract deals are actually a betting system.
Yeah.
And what it is basically right now Carrier was the most efficient, the cheapest, most cost-effective supplier that we could find for the military, and so we made a deal with Carrier.
Yeah.
So now we're going to kind of throw that shit out the window and be like, doesn't matter, you leave, fuck you. You're
Yeah,
losing
yeah.
your-
So it's
you're
bad
losing
on
contracts.
it's bad on two tiers.
So basically, this is either crony capitalism by bribery, right?
Yeah.
So bribing them with tax incentives, or it's economic fascism by threatening them if they were to leave. Again, it's squashing the free market, making companies by federal intervention stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so very far outside of what the federal government's role
what the fuck, Baker?
in the market is.
What the fuck are you wearing?
Hola!
I'm preparing for. Okay, so here's. I thought of this afternoon. I'm preparing to move the show to Mexico. Because I'm preparing to move the show to Mexico.
You're so racist.
So we can get a tax incentive to stay here.
That's
You have
perfect.
fucking more of those?
I do. And in case you guys think that my idea is really great, I brought mustaches for all of us.
I think it's a great idea. I think so the media says that they should fear the call from Donald, but from what I can see, the call from
what?
Donald makes you money. So let's get. The
I need a
phone call.
mustache.
Oh, here
Would
you
you like
go.
a mustache?
I'm gonna,
Hell yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna throw it at you. Oh, no, he's got it.
Oh.
And no mustache for
back on
Drew.
this?
Oh,
I
you
don't know.
peel-
I'm working on it.
You peel. It was made in China, ironically. No tax incentives for Chinese goods.
Okay.
China. Oh man.
So yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Um,
okay, so I guess we're moving to Mexico, everybody. Do we have some-
We're moving to Mexico
Like that.
until we get our tax incentives
Okay,
to
until
stay
we get
here.
a tax. Gotcha. Okay, so I guess we're moving to Mexico. So moving on. So Trump has made some more cabinet additions. Let's get into that. So we'll talk about sex state in a second. I think the biggest thing we want to talk about. Yeah, let's talk about this. So, all right, he's been throwing around a couple of different names for sex state for like 3 weeks now, right? Mitt Romney is
Yep.
still in the running. We've got the Mitt Romney picture. This is just fabulous, folks.
Oh,
Just
it's
watch.
wonderful. Is this
Yeah.
the soul selling?
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good.
So,
yeah, it's
Drew's gonna
hilarious.
pick it up. So basically, Trump and Mitt Romney met for the second time at one of Trump's hotels. He also has a restaurant in, and this photo right here. Thank you, baby. This photo
It's
right
too good.
here
It's
is,
too good.
is them at dinner, and you just see like the underlighting on Donald Trump's face, like looking like Satan himself, and Mitt Romney just sitting there like he just got a big old ram just right up the butthole.
Yeah, and and this is of course, the Drain the Swamp guy that's at Trump Tower at this like Michelin star restaurant,
Right.
eating prime,
Well,
some
Trump's
prime
eating. I actually know this. Trump and Priebus were eating filet mignon, and Mitt Romney had the lamb.
Yeah, that's that blue collar
Right.
filet mignon.
Yeah, drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
filet mignon. Right. Drain the swamp. Hire the Gators. So, all right. So Mitt Romney's still
All
on
right,
the table.
who else is on sex tape? Let's
So,
who
let's
cares
look
about
at the
sex
big
tape,
one.
right?
Did you just say sex tape?
Yeah, sex tape.
He's on sex tape. So sex tape. We're also looking at Bob Corker. No one cares
Yep.
about Bob Corker. No one knows who
Corker.
that is. I don't have a whole lot of information on Corker. I will get back to you on that. We'll throw it on the Idiolitics.
And then also,
Malinowski has a sex
Petraeus.
the Petraeus, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Petraeus. So for
All right.
those of you guys who don't know, he is a potential pick, apparently now in the running for sex state, which is kind of ironic. He is noted as one of the greatest military minds of his generation. He was director of the CIA from 2011 to 2012 before he resigned after a scandal involving an extramarital affair was discovered. He pleaded guilty to the mishandling of classified information during that affair, having given personal journals containing that classified information to the mistress that was the subject of the extramarital affair.
So he wrongfully made a sex tape, and now he's up for sex tape.
Yes.
Try that again.
He made an extramarital sex tape, and now he's up for sex tape.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up, Baker.
I'm aware of any actual
your
sex
hand, damn
tapes,
it.
but
It's on.
yeah, it's funny that Trump would go and potentially pick a guy who actually was charged with what everyone says Hillary should have been charged of.
Yeah.
Super hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy is going directly to Hillary Clinton's seat and fucking, well, through John Kerry, I guess, but and has been accused and convicted of the exact same thing on a much lesser scale, to be fair. Definitely. This was actually made.
Yeah, he wasn't selling it to, or potentially putting it up to, a foreign government's hacking it. It was just some mistress.
Yeah, it was like a calendar and shit too. It was like the big.
But whatever.
Yeah,
All right,
whatever. So,
so
pick.
I want to know your pick real quick. What's yours? Who do you want in sex tape?
If it's me, I'm a Romney guy, man.
Romney,
and on
I'm with
principle,
you on that one.
On principle, because again, I think it would demonstrate that Trump's not going to pack his cabinet full of loyalists, and that he's willing to create that cabinet of rivals. What about you?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm still conflicted on the whole. Is Trump going to do, conflicting and then make chaos, or is he just going to get a bunch of loyalists and do Trump things? I don't know which one's going to work better. But
I think Rosie O'Donnell would make a great Secretary of State.
We're not at Rosie yet. All right, yeah, me Romney. All right, Baker, I want to know your pick. Who's your pick for sex date?
You got Mitt Romney. You got David
The fact that you have to list them out. Never mind. Moving on.
Super fucking rude.
Moving on. All right, what else you got? Well, you want to go to Chow?
Yeah, let's go to Chow.
All right.
Chosen for Transportation Secretary. I did not raise my hand, and fuck you.
All right, so why did he pick Chow?
Okay, so here's the beautiful thing about Elaine Chao. She's actually married to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now, the Secretary of Transportation deals a lot with infrastructure, right? With your highways and your roads and all this stuff like that. Well, it turns out that Bannon and Trump have been having talked about ramming through a $900 billion to $1 trillion infrastructure bill right through the House and the Senate. And if the Senate Majority Leader's wife doesn't get her $1 trillion to play with, then he's going to sleep on the couch for quite some time.
He sure is.
Yeah.
So she has quite the record. Elaine Chao, much like...
Okay.
Just read the words off. Just read the words. Just read the
pieces
words.
are there, I just have to put them together.
All right, so...
Rudy Giuliani led the...
Are you fucking drunk? What are you
Rudy
doing?
Giuliani led the
mic.
American people...
Cut the mic.
Hold on. Fuck There's a Godzilla joke in here somewhere.
I honestly have no idea. Okay. All right, so Chow is there. It's a very strategic pick. Smart on Trump. It's to push a policy I don't agree with, but for Trumpism, it was a good move. And it diversifies, which it always looks good from a visual perspective. All right. Tom Price. Confirmed?
He's confirmed for Department of Health and Human Services.
All right.
I do like this because he has been a consistent opponent of Obamacare since it was passed in 2010, and he's introduced legislation against it.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, I still think that, even though he's not qualified to hold any government office, I do think that I'm going to get slayed for this, that Ben Carson would have been a great pick for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Ben Carson already had a spot.
That pick always kills me because Ben Carson was the head neurosurgeon, like pediatric neurosurgeon, whatever. His entire life has been dedicated to medical. Like, why is he not?
Yeah, I would agree that that'd be probably better suited than.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Better suited than his actual position, but Tom Price is a really good pick. Tom Price pretty much wrote the book on repealing Obamacare, so not only is he behind it, he wrote the book. This is how we're going to do it. Like he was a good.
But
pick.
once he's
really
done with the whole writing the book thing, is he going to contribute anything? Does he know shit about medical stuff? Is he a doctor? Does
Well,
he?
he's not for the fucking Surgeon General.
Well, I'm just saying.
We're talking, the health
this isn't
like health insurance reform and stuff like that.
This is the legislation behind it.
He's not like fucking saying it's okay to give appendectomies to fucking.
So we need a politician.
Right.
We need a politician, and the reason I was going to say, The reason I thought Ben Carson would be good suited for this because if you take the medical aspect out of it, Ben Carson knows his way around the politics of medicine.
I don't know if Ben Carson knows anything.
I don't know if Ben Carson knows his way around much.
I was speculating.
He could get lost in a
they say
McDonald's, man.
He can separate Siamese twins in his sleep, mostly because he's always sleeping.
My mustache is falling off.
Yeah, same.
All right, so who cares about Ben Carson? Tom Price, really good pick. I'm happy with that one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move
Moving
on.
on.
Steve Mnuchin.
Mnuchin.
Okay, so he's been confirmed for the Secretary of the Treasury.
Yeah.
How much is he worth?
I don't know his net worth.
I'm sure it's
A
plenty.
lot. Because he's a former Goldman Sachs employee.
Sure
which,
is.
If you guys know who Goldman Sachs is, they're a very, very big Wall Street firm who deal with stocks and things like that. Basically, this is like all the Clinton staffers, fucking Goldman Sachs. Trump gave Clinton shit for her involvement with Goldman Sachs. And it's like, this is Drain the Swamp homie who is talking about hiring the Gators and the creature from the Black Lagoon to drain the swamp. So Goldman Sachs employee. Also worked for George Soros, very bad guy. George Soros is sort of he's a billionaire.
Oh my god, just stop
I
talking.
don't know what's going on.
You gonna die?
Yeah,
Hey, I got a question asking about Ben Carson's position on what? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, we'll
if
answer
you
it in
wanna-
the Q&A at the end.
Yeah, so
We're putting time
ask
for a live
again.
Q&A.
Ask again.
No, we'll just save it.
So we can, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, back to Mnuchin or whatever his name. Worked for George Soros for a while, who's a big corporate interest the Democrats like to give reach-arounds to. He owned a firm that was also accused of some frauds. This is just all the bad points I could find about this guy.
I read an article that said owning a firm that was this was BuzzFeed. Owning a firm that was
Totally reliable.
owning a firm that's accused of fraud is in general considered a bad idea. What?
Shut up, Baker. Fucking thank you, Baker. Anyway, so he's also a registered Democrat. Now, he did help Trump to rebuild a series of casinos from his empire in the 90s. So Trump is familiar with the guy. He knows him. Also, the argument is, you really can't get through Wall Street. You really can't get through all the muck that is the swamp without hiring yourself a guide, right? Having a guy who knows the stock market, who knows Wall Street, who knows what has to be done in order to sort of trim the fat. So, could be bad, could be good. It has yet to be confirmed.
Yeah.
Again, if you want an insider pick, that's the guy. Yeah. Same can be said of Wilbur Ross, who is confirmed for the Secretary of Commerce. He's an investor, a former banker. He's been known for the restructuring of failed companies and industries such as the steel, coal, and telecommunications industry, and then foreign investment in textiles. He got some companies. Not a whole lot we know about him. Not super big on my mind.
I will say that Wilbur Ross. I'm just butting in so you'll stop talking. Wilbur Ross, for the Secretary of Commerce, given his track record, good pick. Good pick in general because he has experience. If you wanna give this job to someone who has experience in something
Can you
like
cut
this.
his mic off? That's enough for Baker.
Stop!
All right, and then the one that we all know and love, Mad Dog Madness. Hell yeah. All right, so why do we like Mad Dog?
Okay. So
Well, his name is Mad Dog.
That's a good start.
That's the
That's a
only
good start. Yeah, you're right. So,
Okay, so
besides him being a badass, what are the real reasons?
He's
to like him?
he's a Marine general. There's a guy who's really known as a stand-up, old school Marine man. Just the epitome of.
Oh, and this is for Secretary of Defense. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yeah,
so
he's
Mad Dog
confirmed for
was
SecDef.
picked by Donald Trump, but still has to get approved. What is it by?
They need to do a congressional waiver. So basically,
Yeah.
they need to vote with the majority in the House and the Senate to approve him because there's a 7-year statute of limitations for military officials running the military because it's sort of like with the corporate interest thing that we talked about with Trump creating a 5-year ban on lobbyists.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah.
You can't just exit the military and go right into running the military again.
Yep.
So they need to. I think he's been out for 7. I think he needs 9 or something like that.
We got a couple of quotes from him too. He's got quite a few. good
I've
quotes.
seen these quotes and
They're pretty-
he's a badass.
They're pretty badass. Let's see. It's quite fun to shoot them. It's a hell of a hoot. It's fun to shoot some people.
I would have known that he said that
Actually,
at a
that's pretty-
congressional hearing.
There are some assholes in the world that just need to be shot.
He said that one talking to
Yep.
troops in Iraq.
I come in peace. I didn't bring artillery, but I'm pleading with you with tears in my eyes. If you fuck with me, I'll kill you all.
He said that to Iraqi officials.
Leaders, yeah. Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everybody you meet. So I mean, this guy's pretty. He's
Yeah, I like
he's
him.
badass.
I also-
He's right out of a movie.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a hard ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mad Dog, good shit. Hopefully he gets through. 41 years military service. Good Trump.
I would like to point that towards the comment section. I want to know what you guys think. Do your own research, I implore you. But I want to know, because the United States is synonymous right now with overseas wars, I want your guys' opinions. Is he good or bad for our government?
Hey,
I'd
Drew,
love to hear from
what
you
are we
guys.
at with time? 1 hour?
1 hour.
Really? Already? Wow.
Yeah, we still got time. Yeah.
All right, let's hit. Trump is apparently going to separate himself from his business. He is having the best people write up the best documents for the best separation. So what do we know about Trump separating?
So yeah, he announced this. There was like a whole series of tweets. We didn't cover that in Trump's tweets because it was so much. Basically, he's announcing that he is going to draft some sort. We haven't seen any of this. This is all still speculation as to what he's actually going to do. He's going to turn the business over to his kids. We already knew that. And he wants to remove the conflict of interest, or the appearance of the conflict of interest, was actually a direct quote from him from The Office. And it doesn't really remove the conflict of interest because the kids are not a blind trust. The kids can still be in his ear. The kids can still, hedge bets on insider baseball from their dad.
Yeah, especially when apparently he's bringing Ivanka in with meetings with foreign leaders.
Yeah, we kind of already discussed this.
Yeah, we have. Trump's situation is different than any other president. He's definitely,
and there's no law.
And he is not doing anything illegal. But is it bad? Yes.
Yeah, because
the only pure way to really separate it would be blind trust it or liquidate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, liquidate, which he's not going to do either one. So I just hope that he doesn't let it affect it too much.
For sure, and we have to hold him to the same standard that we held Clinton to, because we gave her crap about all the insider trading and stuff like that. All
with
Clinton
paying for play
politics.
Yep.
We can't also hold him to the same standard.
So he's definitely on watch for just potential corruption and stuff like that.
Right.
Not good, Trump. We'll just have to keep an eye on him.
Okay, so let's go on. Speaking of Trump and his kids, Baker has uncovered some unsettling information about Barron via Rosie O'Donnell.
Barron. So who's Barron?
Barron is his 10-year-old son who will live with him and Ivanka in the White House.
All right.
He's the youngest of all the American Psycho extras.
The Trumpsters? Mini Trumps?
Yeah.
Mini Trumps.
All right.
So
Cast of the Purge.
Rosie O'Donnell has speculated that 10-year-old Barron has autism. In my opinion, he wrongfully... Don't interrupt me.
I mean,
he wrongfully thrust a kid. This is what I believe.
Yeah.
he would know.
What? Autism?
Yeah. Because
This
Are you
is something
speculating?
very
Write a
near to
fucking-
Baker's heart.
Write a fucking poem. So Rosie O'Donnell, which is gross, received rightful backlash after speculating that 10-year-old Barron Trump has autism. And in my opinion, no 10-year-old ever should have any spotlight like that on him.
On the national stage.
On the
Yeah.
national,
Yes.
that is the national stage of all stages.
Yeah, so the original video wasn't malicious in intent. It was just
No.
kind of like, it's supposed to be informative.
The original speculation came
autism.
from a YouTube channel who was dedicated to autism.
Yeah, so it wasn't with bad intent.
However, Rosie O'Donnell shared the YouTube video, made it worse, and then on Twitter, speculated on Twitter, and then proceeded to write a poem about it.
I'm still blown away by this.
Yeah.
She actually wrote a
poem
poem
about Donald Trump having autism.
I want to write a poem about how fat she is.
You're gonna have to
You
bring
do
up
that.
a Rosie
You have to do that
poem
now.
next week.
Next
You
week.
better have it
Well,
done.
I'm going to have a lot of... she was just arrested.
Rosie?
Yeah. At
what?
Los Angeles International Airport for
what?
smuggling drugs. She bent over. I swear to God. She bent over and everyone saw 50 pounds of crack.
You set that up really well. Good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I really did. I was like, what? I didn't terrible. All right, so creator got talked with Melania, and they're gonna remove it. All in all, who gives a shit? Is my opinion on this, but it's just a shitty thing for Rosie to put a 10-year-old on the biggest stage with accusations of autism. What does that do to a 10-year-old? I know he's gonna face a lot being Donald Trump's son, but that sucks.
You might as well not start the fire with that much gasoline.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll have some really good Trump tweets.
And that's a huge stage, but another huge stage is primetime television.
Oh yeah. This happened.
Tommy Lahren
Tommy Lahren.
Tommy
Those are
Lahren
words.
went on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah
She did. She jumped into the fire pit, or the
And she
lion's
got
pit.
burned.
Yeah.
She jumped into the fire
it was a
and
massacre.
got burned.
Yeah, it wasn't very good
Okay,
for Tommy.
so we love Tommy. We really do. She's
Oh my God! Don't speak for everyone.
I mean, you have to love her.
Yeah, you kind of have
She's
to love
She's
her.
hot.
so
She's hot. She's hot.
gorgeous.
No, again, she's also kind of really loud and dumb sometimes, and does things like this that make me want to, jump off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, I mean, her videos are great. Just mute them.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Really good,
Shrill,
really good
overly
content.
opinionated voice.
Really good content.
Solid content with no audio.
No, I don't really want to dig too hard into Tommy because she tried. Come
No,
on.
I have a lot of respect for going to the Daily Show. So you're going on a network that hates you against a crowd that hates you against a host that hates you. That's going to get selectively edited against you. I mean,
Yeah.
props to her for giving it a shot.
Absolutely, and on top of that, I mean, Noah was super passive aggressive.
Noah.
He was super passive aggressive, super like, oh, whatever do you mean? I
Yeah.
don't know what you mean.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
British. You know, like he didn't.
Book, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sitting on the moral high horse.
We're in the
Yeah.
thought trap, and the thing that really got me going about this was that she had this opportunity, this platform to really just eviscerate him because it'd be so easy to do. But instead of attacking the narrative of Black Lives Matter when that came up, she gave him too much ground. She attacked the wrong things. She started, pointing out like the fry 'em like bacon thing, the burning the flag thing, the calling coward, all the wrong things. There's such a real argument to be made, but she went for all the fluff and just was not prepared, did not know how to debate a leftist. And if you want to learn how to debate a leftist, you should check out Ben Shapiro's
Don't
book.
plug a book right now.
Plug
Don't plug a book.
Plug it.
Okay, I'm plugging it.
Plug it. It's
Yeah,
a good book.
okay, Ben Shapiro's How to Debate Leftists and Destroy Them. If you want to know how to debate leftists and destroy them, you should fucking read it.
Yeah. So
We're not sponsored. I hope you know that.
let's
Just
go.
like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, no, really good book on how, and it kind of like if you ever, it's a less yesterday's podcast. He really like breaks down how Tommy should have handled it, which was like really eye opening for me. Things like she just fell into traps. So overall, she lost. I mean, if you want to call it a debate,
Yeah.
she lost. But
She's not riding in the streets because she lost.
yeah, and it's not the Daily Show. Tommy Lauren does not need the Daily Show. The Daily Show is tanking.
Yeah,
and they are
really
tanking
bad.
hard.
Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
Daily Show needed
Which is
Tommy.
Really sad, too.
Yeah, I know. Well,
For those of you who haven't seen it, we're going to throw up a link
Please,
to the
Mal.
video in
tell us
the
why
comment
it's so
section.
sad.
Because it was Jon Stewart's show.
Yeah, well, the good thing is legacy's going to shit. I'm glad.
Okay, so let's move on.
More
Poor Tommy.
things that are tanking. Obama. And why is he tanking? Because he's on his way out, and it's all Fox's fault.
Yeah.
Apparently, so
Barack
let's hear what
Obama.
Obama has to say.
Barack
Go ahead,
Obama
Mal.
has blamed Fox News for the election loss, saying that part of the reason that Fox News is in every bar and in every restaurant in large chunks of the country. That's why.
So what bars is Obama sitting in?
Yeah.
in the restaurant.
Fox Sports.
He walked into Applebee's, and there was a Raiders game on one TV, and the presidential election
And that's why
on the
Donald
other.
Trump won.
And that is why Trump won.
Right.
Yeah, so it's absurd that he's going to blame the media. The left controls the media.
Yeah,
they
they
control the
monopoly over
culture.
it.
They control Hollywood. They control our universities. They control the school systems. Yet Fox News,
Which is owned by Rupert Murdoch.
was able to skew it to Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
it was all Fox News.
It's just so absurd that he would even try to make that
Right.
point.
So, have we disavowed anything today?
You want to disavow
I-
me?
I don't know.
We've already disavowed you. You're on the list.
I don't know. What can we disavow today? Can
Let's see.
we disavow
White
Rosie
Rosie.
O'Donnell, crony capitalism?
How about we just turn that over to the viewers? What things they think we should disavow?
Disavow.
Today?
Also,
Go to live Q&A.
live Q&A, yeah. So at
do it.
this time, we would like all 260 of you watching to throw up some things that you'd like to talk about, or
Yeah,
you'd like us more
Q&A.
accurately. We would like you to throw up things you would like us to talk about.
We will
In
field
real
them
time,
all.
right now, right here, live. This is the only chance you get to do this every week on the show. We're going to start doing this as a weekly segment. It's going to be our live Q&A. We've already got a couple questions. So let's roll with the ones we already got, and then we can go on from there as people continue to steal in more, because there's a lot of them.
Bethany Lee Strasberg. It's not I don't think this is how she meant it, but we're gonna commentate on it anyways. Let's get Mad Dog and Rosie in a room together and see what happens.
I'm down. I'm down.
Can we
It's a great idea.
see? Who do you think would win? I think Rosie O'Donnell would win.
Oh yeah,
Mad Dog
against a Mad Dog.
Absolutely, she'd eat him in one bite. She would just tear that ass out.
versus Rosie. Holy shit! I don't know. I think my money's still on Mad Dog. He'd probably
Yeah.
eat her throat.
Mad Dog would
If he get
definitely.
through all
I mean,
that
we
blood.
already know
Yeah.
he has a plan on how to kill her.
Yeah, we know.
He actually
Everything
has
knows.
Yeah, he has a plan.
viable
He has a plan to kill everyone he meets.
Hey Mal, you see the screen? Do you know how I can pull up all the comments?
Yeah, hit
Or
the video.
Yeah, click on that.
Click on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna go in real
Should I bump it
time, so
out?
we should be able to. There you go.
Make it smaller though, so you can see the other side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I'm working
Oh
on it.
no. No one's
Technical.
commenting.
No, we got lots of comments. Here, just hit the 21 comments.
Ashley said
Yeah, I did, but
to
it
check
only
out
got
Glenn
12.
Beck's Arguing with Idiots as well for a good book. Arguing with
Is
Idiots.
Glenn Beck ripping us off? Here's my lawyer.
I can't figure.
We have lawyers.
this thing out.
Johnny Chelberg said, "I love European liberals telling us how to be American."
Oh, that always throws me off. Like, two of the most. That's not gonna throw me off.
We're gonna do a new thing.
So Ron Oliver and Trevor.
Every time you have a brain fart like that, I'm gonna put a little picture of a brain, and I'm gonna put a little poof behind it, and we're gonna add them up. We're gonna tally them throughout the show.
Okay, moving on from your terrible idea. John Oliver and Trevor Noah are not American. In your guys' opinion, what makes them qualified for them to tell us how to be American?
I mean,
What's John Oliver? Oh yeah,
John Oliver.
I mean,
I was thinking John Stewart for some reason. I don't know.
They're
why.
not. They don't have citizenship. I don't know.
No, well,
Doesn't
same thing
do
you
they?
said like Milo Yiannopoulos, who's a
Noah's-
right-wing
Noah's got to have it, doesn't he?
That favors us. We don't talk about
Mike.
Noah's got like a Netflix thing called African American, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got.
That
he's got, like,
insinuates that
legitimate-
he's a citizen.
I don't know. I think he is like a legitimate like legal immigrant here.
Okay, I'm
so
gonna
I
give
don't-
up
I don't
on these
know.
comments. Then.
Yeah, I think the comment thing is dead. You guys want to just call it for the night, and maybe next time we can have live comments.
Sounds good.
Our viewership let us down.
Get the
Yeah, this is
questions
all your
ready.
fault, guys.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We love you guys. Hey, so check it out. Live every week. We may be moving the times around just to try and better fit your guys' schedule, get better viewership. We'll keep you updated. Make sure you keep an eye on the page. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends if you haven't already. We don't have a show without you guys, and we love all the interaction. You know, you guys make the show. So we're going to Mexico, and we'll be reporting to you live from. We're not going to Mexico. Just Baker is going to
Yeah,
Mexico.
we don't need
For
that.
my tax
outsource
incentive.
the whole company. Yeah, maybe
Right,
just one or
just
two.
Baker. So Baker will be reporting live from Mexico next week. So yeah, guys. Anyway, thank you again. We love you. This is Politics for Idiots. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good job, guys.
Disappear with the itching ever go away. Had to imagine the flames burning at home when he's stuck here on this couch drinking coffee all alone.